This is the Astros Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Houston Astros, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Well, if you love a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel, that's what you got tonight in Pittsburgh, and you've gotten that a few times recently for the Houston Astros. And once again, they come out on the good end of the pitcher's duel as they take down Paul Skenes and the Pittsburgh Pirates tonight by a final of 3-0, improving their record to 33-27 on the season. Lance McCullers showing up, showing out. Big swings from Christian Walker. Big swing from Isaac Paredes. We're going to get through all of it here on the Locked On Astros Postcast as the Astros continue to play very good baseball overall in the back end of May and now into June. Outside of those two games, of course, against Tampa, where they got absolutely shellacked as they win tonight to kick off this road trip and this series in a very good manner. Hello and welcome tonight to the Locked On Astros Postcast. I'm your host, Michael Connor. Thank you for joining us. We're live after every single game. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. So, out of this one, what is the number one thing that you're walking away talking about?
This is what you'll be talking about.
Great option tonight. Oh, look at that. Lance McCullers shows up and does his thing for the Astros to kick off this six-game road trip, in a time where we have talked about quite a bit. The Astros, of course, have lost two starting pitchers this year to Tommy John surgery in the last month. They needed Lance McCullers to come back, and they need Lance McCullers to do his thing. And I'm going to be honest with you. I know that it's not something we've talked about a lot, and I know that it's not something that's brought up much at all. I remember the comments that Dana Brown made about Lance McCullers, about him, basically being a bullpen guy maybe, and seeing what they'd get out of him. Look, I know the guy had not pitched in 900-something days, but Lance, if you listen to his comments when he was asked about that down in spring training, he responded pretty much how you would expect Lance to. He wasn't very happy about it at all, and I don't blame him one bit. I wouldn't have been happy about it either. This guy, even though he's been injured a lot, he has a very special place in Astros franchise history because of what he means for some big moments and what he means to the fans. Like, he's a big-time fan favorite, always has been, always will be. And they've needed Lance to come back and pitch like the Lance McCullers that was dominant before, was one of the better pitchers in baseball at times, when he would get on his hot streaks. And he's starting to do that for this Astros team. He was fantastic tonight. 6 innings of shutout ball, 2 hits allowed, just 1 walk, strikes out 7. We're talking about a Lance McCullers now all of a sudden that's starting to find it here. And it's and by the way, it's his first win on the mound since 2022. That is insane that it has been that long, but that's what happens when you're out for basically 2 years. But we're talking about a guy now that's coming off a really solid start against the Oakland A's, gave up 3 across 6 innings there, and he tied his career high there with 12. And he threw over 100 pitches in that baseball game. Tonight, he bounces back, and I think that's the biggest thing from this is that you see bounce back, and you see good stuff in the bounce back. 96 pitches after throwing over 100 last time. Getting the strikeouts again. The spin was there all night long. He is absolutely electric when he goes. And tonight was an electric night on the mound. And you know that there's the added motivation of it. Look, Paul Skenes is a filthy man. He is so good at what he does. He is going to win so many Cy Young awards. It's just silly. And tonight, Lance McCullers outdid him. And look, when it's the best of the best doing that, sometimes it is just one swing. It's not like Skenes had a bad night at all. He gave up 1 run across 8. So he got Lance in the depth department in terms of how far he went in the game. But one swing literally was the difference between those two tonight. And that one swing was the ball being over the fence for Christian Walker there. And McCullers, this is a guy he's not a kid anymore. He's 31 years old. He's got a lot to come back and prove. What a night for him. What a night for the Astros to get that win because, look, if you're like me, I'm going to be honest. Going into this one tonight, I wasn't expecting the Astros to go out there and win this baseball game. And that wasn't because of McCullers or anything. I just figured, Paul Skenes go out there and he did exactly what I expected him to. He dominated them. He shut them down all night long. There's nothing to even be mad about. Like, you knew it was going to happen. The guy is unbelievable. The Pirates want to repeat what they did back ahead of the 2018 season eventually and trade him over to the Houston Astros. Okay, I can do that. Well, I say do what they did with Garrett Cole, I should say, and send him over to Houston. That'd be fine. I'd have no problem with that. But it was exactly what my expectation of the baseball game was tonight, was that he was going to dominate you. And thank goodness he left one sweeper over the plate. And there you go, smacked over the fence. Christian Walker, huge moment for him. And it gives Lance that thing that he needed. And look, it's hard to sit there and count on a guy that's been so injured to stay healthy and be that way for the rest of this season. Look, if we put down a list of things that have to happen for the Astros the rest of the way this year, I think without a doubt in the top 3 is Lance McCullers staying healthy and pitching well. You know you're going to get it out of Hunter Brown. You know that you're going to get it out of Framber Valdez. Those two guys are as locked in as it gets right now. Those two guys are ace of the staff material every single time that they go out there. And guess what McCullers has done in his last 2 starts? He's also pitched in his last 2 starts too. Well, ace of the staff type of stuff. When you have double-digit strikeout nights, when you have a duel against probably baseball's best pitcher that you come out on top of, that's exactly what you're doing. Given ace-like stuff for 2 consecutive starts. Now, with Lance, like anything else, it's can he do it consistently, of course. But I'm telling you, the bounce back from one start to another for me, after throwing over 100 pitches, is a massive step. This is a great baseball game. If you're just a fan of baseball tonight, what a fun game. Quick-paced. I love that. Win or lose, I want a fast baseball game. I don't like them dragging out. 2 hours, 21 minutes. I think the saddest thing about it is, now look, I know the Pittsburgh Pirates aren't good. They're 22-39. It's part of the story, of course, for them. Man, you've got Paul Skenes, and they've got 15,000 people in the stands. That's embarrassing. Like, at least show for the night he pitches. He's awesome. And tonight they would have been gifted with the ones that showed, the people that didn't show it would have been gifted with the ability to watch a real duel between 2 pitchers. Because McCullers was just as nasty, just as awesome, and everything that the Astros needed once again tonight. Let's talk about the big swings of the bat from Paredes and Christian Walker. That's next here on the Locked On Astros Postcast after a great win to start the series against the Pittsburgh Pirates. All right, let's talk about where you're getting supplies. Get supplies that you need from the site that's made for the skilled trades, Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help get your job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400-plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. Now, let's talk about your money. Who doesn't want to talk about money? Have you ever looked at that bank account and said, well, where'd all my money go? Yeah, you have. Between dining out and, of course, online shopping and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all of your accounts, investments, and spending in one place so you stop just managing your money and start building wealth. Well, with your partner, something that's very, very cool. I know my wife and I, we sit down constantly and we want to keep track of what's going on with our finances. Monarch Money has made it so much easier and so much smoother to manage our finances together. You can track those shared and personal accounts like we do, set the goals and stay on page without all the stress. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. Winners tonight are your Houston Astros against the Pittsburgh Pirates in a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel as Lance McCullers gets the better of Paul Skenes tonight. That's pretty darn awesome for Lance to get that, thanks to the one big swing. Christian Walker putting the Astros ahead there. Skenes giving up that home run to him, made it 1-0. Of course, Paredes adds on later, and we of course cannot go through this and not mention the bullpen again tonight. They do their job once again. I know that they had their little blip on the radar the other day in the 2 games against Tampa. You're allowed to have those. It's a long season. And they are going to have those little blips in there, and they did. But tonight, again, they did their job. Dubin, great. Hader. Dubin's been great this year. Overall, his batting average against is insanely low. Abreu has really found it. I got very upset a lot about Abreu early in the season because I thought his mechanics coming into the season were horrible, and it just was irritating. But Josh Hader, again, I mean, man, the guy's been awesome. He's the best closer in baseball again right now. It's filthy. He's 1-2-3. There you go. 17 consecutive saves now for Josh Hader. ERA is down to 1.38 on the season. He's been fantastic. And like I mentioned, the swings of the bat for this team. Who are your guys from the offseason? We know it's been a hard season for Christian Walker. There's been some moments in the last month that have been better than they were early on. The overall numbers this season are still not very good. He's still barely hitting over 200. The OPS is still below 700, which is abysmal. But he's had some big swings, and I'll give him that. He's driven in more runs, and tonight that was about as big of a swing as you can get. And hopefully at some point he can get on a heater. They can get him on some kind of heater, man. That'd be massive for this team. And then Paredes as well. This guy's been, the Astros' most consistent power threat this season. He's gone into a little bit of a funk of late. Hits number 12. He needed that swing. The Astros need him to find his swing a little bit more often when it comes to the power supply that he has provided this season. He had to get back to it. The good news is that the Astros hadn't needed him as often to be that guy in recent days. Yes, he provided a lot of that thump when they started playing very good baseball in the last couple of weeks. But they didn't absolutely have to have it in those situations for him to go out there and do that. And he did it tonight. That was awesome I would have felt good about the Astros finishing the game off with a 1-0 lead and Josh Hader out there. I always feel better about a 3-0 lead. Who doesn't feel better about a 3-0 lead? They're going to do this all again tomorrow night. It'll be Ryan Gusto out there on the mound for the Houston Astros in game number 2 of this series. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. Looking at this Pittsburgh team and how the Astros are set up now the rest of this series, I think that you got to be looking at it and going, sweep. It'd be awesome. We will do this again tomorrow night. It's another 5:40 first pitch. God, love these East Coast games. Absolutely love them. Burrows. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know anything about the Burrows character for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I'm not watching a lot of Pirates baseball these days. I had watched Skenes pitch 2 other times this season. Like I went out of my way and watched Paul Skenes pitch, which was always fun. I'm a big pitching lover, so I'm always going to watch good pitching. But Gusto tomorrow night, then it's Fromber on Thursday to wrap up this series. Again, of course, as soon as the game ends tomorrow night, make sure you come right back here to this channel. If you're watching live, the YouTube channel. If you're listening wherever you get your podcast, thank you, of course, as well. Make sure you're always tuning into the Locked On Astros Postcast, which is the instant reaction to what goes on in the field each and every single night. As the Astros, like I mentioned, get the victory, and in the American League West, keep chugging along in that battle with the Seattle Mariners for supremacy. The Astros tied up there at the top in the American League West at this moment. As I say these words, I don't know what's going to happen later on, so there's that. Actually, the Mariners already lost today. I'm sorry. I didn't even check that. The Mariners lost, so you're good to go. Or no, I'm on the wrong day. For some reason, MLB.com, my calendar's on May the 28th. Wow, what a great website they're running. When I hit scores, if you've listened to this show enough, you know I love to complain about the MLB website because it is absolute hot garbage, and it continues to be that. And for some reason, it keeps putting me back in May for the daily scores. The Seattle Mariners, as we are doing this show, as he finally gets to the days looking for, are about to start against the Baltimore Orioles. So we'll see what happens there. But right now, Astros tied atop the American League West. You guys have a great rest of your Tuesday night. We'll talk again tomorrow night after Astros and Pirates on the Locked On Astros Postcast.